Yeah. So what's up, y'all? You know, Mr. C, he Superstar G back at it, you know. And we got DJ Countdown in the house, you know. Been trying to get this interview for a little while, and we finally got a chance to go ahead and sit down and put this together. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and let him give you a little spiel about himself so everybody can understand who he is, what he does, and how he's a treasure, unknown treasure here in the B.A.K. You know what I mean? So go ahead and give him a little spiel about yourself, sir.
Yes, absolutely. My name is Robert. I'm DJ Countdown here out in Bakersfield, California. And I've been DJing for about 15 years. Really love it. And before we go any further, I want to just say real quick, rest in peace, Manuel Gutierrez. He was the owner of the Elements venue here in Bakersfield, and he just passed away this last week. And he was so much more than that, huge in the community. And I actually got my DJ career started off with him. I was working for him, washing dishes, setting up mobile bartending, setting up stages, setting up his DJ equipment, going to weddings with him. And then I would learn, he'd teach me how to do the turntables and whatnot. And like if he needed a break, I would cover for a moment until I started learning and getting better. And then, he started using me to DJ a little bit here and there. But that's how I got started, is with Manuel Gutierrez. So I'm really sad that he's gone, but he left back, a big legacy here in Bakersfield. He did a lot for the community.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace there, brother. And a big part of how I started, even with my name, DJ Countdown, when we first worked for him, you're not allowed to have your own DJ name. So you got to be like DJ Robert. He was DJ Manuel G.
Okay.
And he didn't want anybody having any DJ names because he just wanted everybody to say, keep it simple, not trying to do too much and whatnot. And so it wasn't until after I worked for him for a little while, and I get offered to work at the Syndicate, and Syndicate local bar here in Bakersfield, and they tell me, hey Robert, would you like to do the Syndicate for New Year's Eve? And I'm like, of course. I've been DJing probably for about a good year now, so I'm, I'm very confident I can go in there and rock it out. I got video, I got all the new music, everything. So I'm like, yeah, absolutely, Well, these guys didn't let me know that they were literally throwing me to the wolves. They were throwing me to the lion's den.
Yeah.
They did not want me there. The bartenders did not want me there. The bouncers did not want me there. The owners did not want me there. I was nobody. I wasn't established. They had no idea what I was about at all. The guy that was supposed to be there was DJ Nicky. Okay. He's there all year long. He's got them, and they pay him good all year long. So come New Year's, they expected him to be there. Well, he got another gig that was going to pay really fat, and he bounced. So they were heated, and he goes, okay. And him and actually Manuel G were like best friends, and he says, Manuel G can cover. Well, that's his birthday on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So he's like, nah, I ain't covering.
Yeah.
And Manuel G's main guy was this guy, Javi. He's a good friend of mine to this day. And Javi's like, it's Manuel G's birthday. You know where I'm going to be at, not a Syndicate. So that's how they finally got to me, basically the bottom of the barrel. But they don't tell me that. They put me up. They go in there like, yeah, go in there. So I go in there, man. I rock it. I do everything right. I'm thinking at the end of the night, I go ask all the bartenders and the bouncers, like, how'd it go? What'd you guys think? I'm thinking it went great. Nobody's saying anything then.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody says anything then. So I take off. I'm on cloud nine. The people were dancing all night. The countdown went crazy. I had a video at Danza Kurudo, I think it was, and it had just came out. So this was a while back.
Yeah.
So I had the video that went from the countdown right into it and everything. So I was set. I was ready. 2 days later, Manuel called me up. And he's like, hey, man, don't worry about it. It happens to the best of people. Just shake it off. You'll be fine. And I'm like, shake off what? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, they were saying that you're on the mic begging for drinks. And I could tell you at that point, I was scared of the mic. Like, the only time I got on the mic that mentioned a drink was when like 5 of my friends walked in, because I didn't have my social media. I didn't have any way to let anybody know that I was going to be the DJ, which nobody needed to know that I was going to be the DJ there. Syndicate that place is already renowned.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 of my friends walk in, they look up, they see me, and they're just like, oh, crap, because they're just as surprised as I am being up there on this thing, right? And then they're like, what are you drinking, And I'm like, Red Bull vodka. And that's always been my drink, my staple right there. So they go and they buy me a Red Bull vodka, and they bring it to me and whatnot. And that was me begging on the mic, right? So I already know when he tells me that, I'm like, okay, something's wrong. Because, like, I'm all for getting in trouble for something you do or being something to making a mistake, you know? But I was like, and they said I was playing, like, this old music. And I was like, I know I played Keith Sweat, I Want Her, which kept the dance floor cracking and everything. So I'm like, these guys, this is something weird. And at this point, I still didn't know about the whole backstory. I didn't know it was supposed to be Nikki and these guys. I had no idea about. So I'm just thinking like, you know, someone's hating or whatnot. Finally, they say the last kicker, you missed the countdown at midnight. And I'm like, what are you talking about? How in the hell could I miss the countdown? Because we did the actual countdown from the ball that drops on the TV screen in New York. You know, we had those screens up everywhere. I had it up and it went with it. And then I played my video that went with it. And, you know, and I was just like, no. And not only that, but your computer timestamps it, which first thing I did was I jumped back, brought up my computer, looked at the timestamp and saw, no, you know, I did it right when I was supposed to. Yeah. I had been announcing it. What happened was the bartenders, some of them didn't make as much money as they thought they should have. So obviously it must be the DJ's fault, you know?
Yeah.
It couldn't have been the fact that there's, I'm not gonna say any names, but you know, there's some bartenders in there that, you know, hey, you could have had better attitude, you probably would have got better tips. Right. You know? So needless to say, Manuel tells me everything. I tell Manuel, Mac, no, man, you know, that didn't happen like that at all, whatever. And he's like, well, I don't know, DJ Nicky, I know that's his spot. That's what he had to hear. And now they're, you know, and I'm just getting started. So I'm like, I already done got started. Now I'm gonna start with the bad reputation.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks later, I run into him at a bridal show, and Nicky's there because he did like the accessory and bridal party store for Deja Vu. So he has a booth at the bridal show. Manuel, of course, had his, and I'm there helping and working for him. And I see DJ Nicky, and I'm like, okay, this is my chance. I'm gonna go tell Nicky what happened. You know, that's just crazy. I don't want him thinking that I can't even do the countdown to midnight or all these things, you know. So I'm walking up to him, and he's a ways off, and he sees me, and I swear he turns around and starts walking away. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And I was like, Nicky. And he's like, nah, Rob, I can't believe you. You missed the countdown. Fucking DJ Countdown. And I'm like, dude, don't call me that. I'm not DJ Countdown. I did not miss the countdown at midnight, bro. This is messed up. And he just walks off, bro. He doesn't care, dog. Yeah. He leaves me in the dust. I'm standing in the middle of this bridal show. It's like a freaking movie. Like, I'm not DJ Countdown. I'm like thinking about it. Like, I think back, I'm like, how much of an idiot I probably look like. Everybody's walking around, this guy's not DJ Countdown. Good for him, right? And so ultimately I go back to work. And as I'm walking back to go over there and we're loading whatnot up equipment, I'm like, I'm not DJ Countdown, man. This is messed up. And then finally I was like, you know what? Now I'm DJ Countdown. Right. And I just owned it. I made like a Facebook page, just like a little business page. And a friend of mine made me a logo, DJ Fletch, actually, Robert Azacrate. He made me a logo just like on the whim. Like we were just talking about it and just bam, made one. I've used it forever. And, put it up. And then, I don't know, about 2 weeks later, Nicky sees it. He sees it on Facebook. And he messages me and he just starts laughing. He's like basically like, glad, good for you, you know, because like, you know, most people have DJ names. They don't got like a reason. They just like, I'm DJ, what the fuck? You know, I was like, okay, you know, because I said so. And it's like, okay, but, I was like, no, I got a story behind mine. And then, so about 2-3 years, and this was the kicker too. About 2-3 years later, I'm still salty about it because I'm still mad because a lot of people got told, you know, that I missed the countdown at midnight. But then I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's probably not that, whatever. So I go to 1933 to DJ a regular club night, and I get there early to set up. And this waitress walks in, really pretty little gal. And I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? She's like, hi, who are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm DJ Countdown. And I kid you not, she's all, oh, you're the DJ that missed the countdown at midnight. And I'm like, oh my God. And you know what? I was all, yeah, that's me. I'm DJ Countdown. That's it. Yeah. And I just, owned it, you know. Gotta love it. And then, even to this day, damn DJ Nicky will message me on New Year's Eve and tell me to not miss the countdown at midnight. I'm just like, oh, I wait for it all the time. Like, wait, it's gonna come at some point. He's like, hey, countdown, don't miss don't miss it at midnight. I'm like, all right, bro, thank you. So yeah, that's countdown in a nutshell.
That's what's up. That's a little funny story for y'all, you know. But hey, that's how you got your name, and it's stuck. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's something that a lot of people now know. You know what I mean?
My
And,
kids laugh at me. We'll go I'll be at the grocery store, and then I'll have someone yelling, countdown,
yeah,
countdown. And and like they don't even know my real. Like, a lot of people, because I'm in the club a lot of whatever, and and so there's people that don't know my real name, and and then my kids are like, why is this guy yelling countdown? Like, cause I'm like, oh, whatever, guys. And then they give me a hard time about it too, but it's funny. It's like, we can't go anywhere, Dad, without somebody. Well, Bakersfield ain't that big of a town though, and I've been here,
Yeah.
born and raised in the scene for years. So it's, yeah, but I love it. It's like the whole city is like Cheers.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
R.I.P. Norn. And I feel like that. Anywhere I go, it's like there's someone there. I'm gonna know. They're gonna know my name. And so and that's a good comforting feeling, and it feels good to be. Which goes back to the Monday Night Showcase and all that with the local community, working. All that. That's why I feel I want to give back and do more. With my name and all that too. So.
All right, so we're gonna transition into a little bit of your background because that's the background of how you got into DJing and how you got the name. But give everybody a little bit of background on basically who you are, where you come from,
Oh, yeah.
and this your hometown, correct?
Yeah.
So,
Hometown.
yeah.
Class of '96, South High Rebels, right here in Bakersfield. So my boy here, we're both.
Yeah,
both here,
South High Rebels, you know that.
So-
South High, you know.
Been here my whole life. Moved away for a couple years to Oxnard with you. Actually, me and this guy right here were roommates out in the late '90s out in Oxnard, and but initially, I was an IT guy. That's where my career started off. I worked for Budweiser, Atari. When we were going out, when we moved out to Oxnard, we were going to ITT and whatnot. ITT didn't do much for me, but it got me out of Bakersfield. It got me
Yeah.
exposed. I met a lot of amazing people. Was working out in Thousand Oaks and learned a lot with IT, which really helps me now on the DJ side because there's so much IT stuff to it.
Yeah.
So that's always been a good thing. I'm a dad. I got 5 kids, and 2 of them already married and have their kids and on doing their thing. And I got one. My youngest is gonna be 7.
Okay.
Yeah, and little Anthony, God, 7, but this guy's a beast. Big old kid. He's gonna be tall like me. So family's huge. Almost every weekend we're barbecuing at mom and dad's. One day or another, and I'm always trying to spend time with my kids and whatnot, and just staying busy. Want to just do more. Been on the radio for the last few years, so I'm really hoping that that's gonna grow into something even bigger.
Yeah.
Started to do podcasts and streaming. So what I want to do with that is I'll stream in the morning by radio set when I record for the evening. And then when I'm doing a DJ spot or somewhere I'm DJing and anything like that, I can stream it. And then I'll have like certain nights where I can do like requests or do like old school night, stuff like that. So I want to do more things and then see where it takes me, really. I love my job. I love what I'm doing. I work all week long. I do a lot of venues here in Bakersfield, Lake Isabella, all up in the South Valley. So it's pretty cool. I get to do a job that I love, and then I'm just hoping that there's not a ceiling. Like right now there's a ceiling. Like I feel like I've gotten to a certain point, and I have to just keep like treading. And at some point you're just gonna hit that one firm patch, and just next thing you know I'll be out the water running. So that's where I'm at right now. But at the same time, working with all these different artists. I make enough, that I can be comfortable. I'm not, filthy rich, but I eat good. I do things with my family. We're good. But I think that like I'm at a point where it's gonna just the seeds have been planted.
Yeah, and it's just gonna
It's
pop.
ready to harvest. Bring in the harvest, brother. Yeah,
I feel it. So I'm gonna give you a chance to give your social media and everything where everybody can find you, and let them know where you do your podcasting and your streaming at too. But going back to the question we were just answering, give them a little bit about your elementary and junior high years.
Ooh, wees. Elementary was fun. I went to Pauley.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, mostly Pauley. And I was there with O.C. Wyatt and Harvey Rogers and
Yeah, yeah.
A.C. Boone and
All the South High greats,
yeah.
you know, South High legends.
That was some good times, good times. I remember that as a kid. I had a lot of fun there. I remember my sixth grade, so I was a little travieso, man. Oof. Talk smacker.
Yeah.
Mrs. Lartique, I think was the lady's name. She was mean though. So, anyways, I get in trouble. I'm not supposed to go to Camp Keep. I remember those Camp Keep.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm in trouble, and they're like glad to tell me because they're mad at me. I was a little dick, and they're like, you can't go to Camp Keep this year. I'm just like, okay, well, there it is, whatever, right? You know, what can you do? Well, then we moved over to Rexland Acres, and I was going to Fairview Elementary, and it was like the last quarter of my sixth grade year.
Okay.
So we go over there, and they asked me, the school, they're like, were you supposed to be going to Camp Keep? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, of course not. Hell yeah. I said, yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, great. Click. Off I go to Camp Keep. I wish the bus could have drove by their school as we were going to Camp Keep. That would have been like my dream. I went there, went to Fairview for just a bit, lived there. Went to Stockdale High and South High for my high school years, and my big thing for me was Taekwondo. Actually,
Okay.
yeah, I was really just a punk, you know, and back, you know, the clown of the class, and just always talking shit and you know whatnot. I was smart, you know. I just was just being stupid, you know, trying to be funny. And my freshman year was terrible. I got like a .08 or .8. GPA, and it wasn't a DUI, it was a GPA. And I remember I went to Stockdale like my first semester, and then I went to South.
Okay.
So I go to South, and I'm doing just as bad. I'm ditching like 40, 50 per period each quarter or something crazy, right? And but at the time, maybe they didn't have the STEP program. They had this program called STEPS. And that when if you went ditching and once they had the STEPS program, you were gone. You got to Vista West or Vista P or something. But before that was my freshman year. You could get like, and the teachers loved us. The ladies up at the front, Miss Price, and who else? There was a few other ones but they always would take care of us. And so I had like dozens of cuts, and they just put it underneath like one warning. But that wasn't really helping me, you know. So I was just messing up. Come my sophomore year, I get into Taekwondo, and my mom and dad foster parented since I was in junior high, and so the kids got a program where they got to be in it, and my mom was like, "Would you like to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? You know, let me go for it." And I was, you know, scrappy, skinny, not that tall yet, and then I got a good boost over my freshman to sophomore year. I got a like 4 or 5 inch, just bing. So I get into Taekwondo, and I just fall in love with it. I mean, I just absolutely fall in love with it. I get in there, and I'm just going for it. We started doing tournaments. My mom and dad are taking me places. I ended up doing I was like 30-2 when I was all said and done. I won like 2 national championships. There was like a black belt tournament here at the convention center back then. And I can't remember what it was called. Not the convention center, but what was it called? Anyway, but it was black belts, North versus South, and I was on the North team. And I won. This was right before we moved out to ITT.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, my first wife was there, and she was pregnant with Faith.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ashley, yeah. So I did that, and honestly, I don't know what it was. Just like a switch. I went from .8 GPA to 3.8. I got the Most Improved Student of the Year award my sophomore year, which led me to get jobs in the summer, where I got a job, IT job, at the courthouse. And that's what ended up getting me wanting to go into the IT direction.
Okay.
So it all ended up coming back to that, and then when I got out of high school, I had such a bad freshman year that my overall GPA was gonna disqualify me from a lot of the bigger colleges, and I didn't really have I had more of the classic family where it's like get to work, and instead of saying get into college and whatnot, and then we thought the ITT was the way to go. Had I known what I know now, I would have just went to the community college. I went to Bakersfield College.
You and me same.
Right, but there's pros and cons to it. I mean, I have things that I can say on both ends, and that that's why I went to ITT, and then I had the baby on the way, and so after that I just stuck with the IT stuff. Worked for, like I said, Atari, Budweiser, and then I got a job with Freestyle Event Services years after that, and it was just a desperation. I just needed any job, and they were an event services company, but they would do like staging and lighting and like big events to small and stuff.
Yeah.
So I started working for them. That was right before I was working with Manual.
Okay.
And I worked with them. I got a taste of it. I got to see this DJ walk in with his backpack, DJ his stuff, and get his little weenie backpack and leave while I'm loading everything up in the truck, taking it back, unloading it, putting it away. And I know Weenie Dick over here sitting down watching shows or having a beer, and I'm, so I was like, I want to be that Weenie Dick guy.
I understand.
And they didn't give me any opportunities there. Like, they just were not, they were holding me back. And then that's when I ended up going and working for Manual. And then I worked for him for about a year and a half. And then I worked for Tony Camarena, another guy. And he was like the main karaoke guy here in Bakersfield. This guy had he had Stand Trap, he had Grenadier, he had all the La Minas, multiple locations. So I come in and start working for him, and did that for about 6 years. And during that whole time, just kept building myself up, building up my own equipment. And then I started building up my own account. And what I just basically did on a certain night that I worked for him, I'd find me my own account, and I'd get that lined up. And then I literally found him a backup, someone to take over that could fill my position. When I left, I'd be like, here, I got a guy for you, take over. And Bubba, from Big Bubba Entertainment, was one of them. And I basically handed him over like 3 locations like that. And to this day, years later, Bubba's still rocking all those locations. So, it was just cool, like we all, and even Tony, like, he has an insurance company. I have my insurance going through him right now, my car insurance, and he'll still call me up once in a while and book me a gig. And, we all, it's really nice because it's, the community here in Bakersfield, the DJ community here is way cool. I know like a handful of guys. If I was somewhere and I was stuck, like let's say my subwoofer blew or something like that, I know a handful of guys that I know would get up and come out and bring a sub.
Yeah.
And not even be like, don't even trip, like, be like, of course I'm gonna get, but still, it's just like, I mean, I've done it. I don't know how many times someone's called me up and they're like, I'm missing the cable, I'm missing that. Where you at? I'm not working today. I'll come through and bring it. Bing. Even one time I was at a location working, I had what the guy needed. I was like, oh, don't trip, got it. And is it DoorDash or with the one where they'll come pick it up? Or no, I think
Uber.
I just did regular Uber, right?
Yeah.
And I had the case, and when the Uber guy got there, I go, hey, bro, all you got to do is this case, we'll put it in the back seat, drive it to where you need to do it, and the guy's right there, and he'll take it. It's a DJ equipment. He's a DJ. He's hurting right now. He needs it right now. And the guy's all, cool. I was like, I'll give you a fat-ass tip right now. Bing. Cost like $15. Sent it to him. My boy had what he needed. Life went on. He needed it for the ceremony, too, so that's why it was time-sensitive. It was like he didn't have time to go to, I was all, bro, I got it right here. And I sent it to his. So, yeah, I built a page called DJ Gigs, and a lot of the DJs here that are local are in it. And if I get something extra, I'll just post it in there, and I'll be like, hey, anybody, there's a date, there's the person, and then they'll figure it out and and give each other. And I'm like, I don't even want a referral. It's like, here's the information, y'all take care of it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, definitely loving it here in Bakersfield. Yeah, we have that vibe, that's for sure.
That's what's up. So, I guess the next thing we'll go into is the Monday Night Showcase. We haven't really spoke on that, but go ahead and let the people know what you do on Mondays.
So yeah, the Monday Night Showcase, we spotlight local artists and we play their original music. Been doing it for about 2.5 years. And tonight, this is, what's today's date? The 15th?
The 16th.
16th?
Yeah.
June 16th. Tonight we have Seuss. She's out of Wasco. She's got some really great R&B style music, so you're really going to like that. You can tune in to Rewind 98.1 and to check her out. And then also just look her up. It's S-U-Z. You can find her on all the social media platforms and streaming platforms. But really great music. Great person. I actually had her come into the studio. We did an in-person interview. And just great personality, loves music, very professional. So I really hope that, I even was talking to her about doing some potential events in the future. And that's something that I was wanting to do with the Monday Night Showcase. I was building that, that rapport with these artists and these bands. And then I'm hoping that, we'll go back and be able to talk and, say, hey, let's do an event. One of my ideas is I'm going to have, there's Seuss, there's Honey, Stephanie Soul, Ziana, I like to get all the ladies and do an event where it's just nothing but all the ladies performing, and then bring in like a really good DJ, not myself or anything like that, but like B.A.K Boys, somebody really known and stuff, and really just make it a big night.
Yeah.
And rock it out and stuff, and and they're all for it. I was talking with most of them already, and they're just kind of like, they let me know when we can do it, and rock it out. So the Monday Night Showcase, it's nice because and I've even been like, I told Seuss, I go, hey, there's a guy, Jake Town, and he's got great music and he's got a vibe, and I just, my own personal ear, I told her, I was like, you guys would make a dope collab.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I want to do too, is like, if I can help bring people together, if I can help, like I'll hear about one person and then you hear like, like if a band needs a drummer and then I run into a drummer.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I love doing that. I love bringing that together and then watching it, and be like, all right, hey, cool, there you go. And for me, just seeing it like blossom.
Yeah.
That's my kickback. Like I never expect anything. I'm like, no, here it is. Because then it goes both ways. I mean, I've had people refer me or bring me in the fold on something. Even this place that I'm staying here was with somebody that was an acquaintance that I met, built a relationship as a friend, as a buddy, and worked here for him and with him and different things. This is here at Narducci's, and so now he's, I'm staying here, I'm helping, and just that back and forth, helping each other out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm, that's how I've always been. It's like I want everybody to make it.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I don't feel like it's a competition. I feel like, even when my other DJ buddies, when they're putting, their posters up and they're playing at places I want to play. I mean, because I got some good DJ, like these guys, they're good. We got a good squad here in town of talent. And so sometimes they're playing at places I'm just like, oh, God damn it, I want to be there. But I mean, but then we all get our turns. Then there's places that I'm playing at that they're like, oh man, and I'm like, I got in through it through a friend. Bakersfield, very much, I don't care. It is a who you know town still.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I mean, there are a little bit of exceptions, but not much. And like I can tell you, 90% of the jobs that I get, it's through somebody I know. It's through rubbing elbows, getting out there, meeting them, talking to them face to face. So, and that's that's good for me. Like I'm comfortable with doing that. I'm good at what I do, so it's like when you're it's easy to sell, and so yeah, just that's the vibe here in Bakersfield. Just gonna want to grow that to where it can finally catch some traction and we can get like some major events. Get some bigger locations, pack the house once or twice, and then we can start looking into doing something bigger, bringing in like, well, and then these artists, I say like bringing in, I was going to say like, bringing in bigger name, but, my hope is that the artists that we're working with are going to become those bigger names.
Yeah.
And we'll have, be able to be like, yeah, this is where we started and kicked it off, right here in Baker's. Jerry's Pizza. I can, there's just a handful of plus of artists and bands that started off here and are well known and made it in the industry. So Korn,
yeah, I was just to say like Korn.
Yeah, you can always go back to them, but yeah. So that's what I want to do is help the artists get out there, get known, and then it's a lot of fun for myself just rocking it too.
So, with that Monday Night Showcase, I know that you spoke on the females that you work with. So, are they all R&B or do some of them rap? And how would a person get in contact with you if they wanted to send you some music for the Monday Night Showcase?
So the genres have been amazing. Like we've gone from country to EDM to grunge to Latin to R&B. Most of those ladies are R&B. Some of them do some rapping though, and are good at it top to bottom. But a lot of guys too on board here, especially like from Bakersfield, Ciano, AFTA, B.A.K, a lot. There's Mike Dilla, a lot of different types of varieties and genres. So it's really fun. I'll stream my Monday Night Showcase people that have been on just those songs, and just the variety that it'll go through. I love it, because we represent, like our station's the '90s to now, and it's every genre on it. So
yeah.
But yeah, most of the girls that are on there, like they're R&B and a little bit of rap, kind of like a Jill Scott or Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
But Stephanie Soul herself though is very much more of like your old East Side, like Al Green and Mary Wells, and that just
Okay,
that's
okay.
that's
She got
definitely
that old soul.
Oh man, you got to check her out. Definitely a unique voice in that sense. All of them they'll have a great voice and good songs all together, but. Bringing that together on the Monday Night Showcase, we're gonna be able to start doing some more events. Like I'm gonna end up having a country event because I got a handful of country songs, and then just try to do different genres. Just great music, all around right here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that. And just so everybody understand that this is on Rewind 98.1 on Monday nights, 8 o'clock, right?
That's right, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, y'all can tune in, and catch you some local talent. Like he say, tonight he got Suze. Is that how she go?
That's right.
Suze. All right, and I'm putting it out there, Suze. I'm wanting to get an interview with you whenever you hear this or you see this podcast. Just know I would love to get you on here, and
Absolutely.
we're gonna keep following up with some of the local people, and I don't have a certain style of who I want to interview. I would love to interview everybody. Today I'm starting with a DJ. Tomorrow it might be a barber. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to keep it only on people that are doing music or into that type of life. I'm trying to look for any and everybody that has something positive going on in their life right now and in Bakersfield. And we're going to take it from Bakersfield to LA. So just know, DJ Countdown, you will have some LA fans that will see this, and hopefully we can start networking and get you in some clubs down there, and get you a little more out there. So we're gonna keep transitioning from there and kind of let the people know what your like weekly routine is. So
yeah, absolutely. I play on Rewind 98.1 Sunday through Thursday. So Sunday night it's from 9 to midnight, and it's the Sunday night slowdown. So it's all slow jams and R&B hits. Monday night showcase, we've been talking about that. Monday through Thursday I play from 7 to midnight, and it's 98.1. That's here in the South Valley, Rewind 98.1, and DJ Countdown. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all the different streams. Just look up at DJ Countdown. And what else is in here? No, I do play a lot of locations locally. Jerry's Pizza, The Whiskey, Casa Taberas. These are all here in Bakersfield, California. So also Country Kitchen Bar and Grill. So sometimes we're doing karaoke. Sometimes it's just video mixing. You can always just find out what's going on my social media. Look me up. And come on out. Make sure you let me know that you saw me here on the podcast with Too Sheezy, and DJ Countdown, y'all. So make sure you look me up. Thanks.
Oh, we ain't done yet, sir.
What we got?
Nah, we still got more to go. I'm just making sure that you get a chance to let everybody know what you're doing, what you're up to. But we're gonna keep it going for you right now. I'm actually bringing up your Instagram so I can bring that up on camera for everybody so they can catch that a little bit. And so other than the Monday night showcase, let me know, do you got anything like upcoming events that are coming up that you might want to share with people?
This Saturday we're doing an event at the Country Kitchen Bar and Grill. Okay. And that's my first night. Going to be opening there. Be doing Saturdays on the regular, but we got Los the Awakened. He's a local artist here, rapper. He's going to be there performing a couple of his songs. So that'll be fun. Get that night going. On the bigger events, I know I'll be out in Lake Isabella at the Kernville Saloon July 5th. The day after day after the fireworks day and whatnot. So I'll be out there for club night. That goes good. It's a 21 up.
Yeah.
Everybody rocks it out. Do video mixing. Got a big old TV and the lights and everything. So I've been going out there for, oh my God, like probably 10 years.
To Lake Isabella?
To that specific, Kernville Saloon. So, club night goes really good. It's a lot of fun. They got hotel rooms right upstairs, so you can get a room, stay the night, and then come back the next day so you're not trying to drive down that canyon at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
I hear you.
Yeah, so I just stay the night, come back the next day. And then a lot of my other events, like those are my weekly stuff. And then I do a lot of, private events, school, birthday parties, weddings, stuff like that, sweet 16s and proms and all that good stuff too. I'm always staying busy with that as well.
All right, so just real quick, y'all, I'm going to bring up his Instagram so y'all can get a little look at how his Instagram looks.
Yeah.
And it also has the channels on there. If you happen to notice, it says radio host for Rewind 98.1 and 93.5.
Yeah,
And
the 93.5 is Visalia and Tulare.
okay,
And it's the same station. It's us. It's me. But if you catch it up there, it's 93.5. Then as you come down, it goes to the 98.1 all the way from Delano, Wasco, all the way to us, all the way over up to Lake Isabella and those surrounding areas. We catch all that too.
all right. Well, I'm not gonna go too much into your pictures here because I see you got some of your family pictures.
Oh
posted,
yeah, no
but,
worries.
we're gonna. It's making me sign in. I was gonna try to show the flyer for Sue's for tonight, and then your Sunday Fun Day.
Absolutely.
Speak on that. And that's at the whiskey.
Yeah, it's at the Whiskey. It's out here in Rosedale area, Bakersfield, and just a great spot. A couple pool tables, good music, 2000s and down. You know, some. And what's nice too is I have like an online request, so people can scan a QR code, make a request, and send it right to me. And they love that because sometimes they don't want to walk up to all the way up to the DJ booth. You know, some of them they feel like it's the walk of shame.
I hear you. I hear you.
So, you know, and if they, you know, like, so then they'll come up and I'll let them tell them, you know, they can make a request here, or if you want, you can, you know, if you have more requests, then they'll be like, oh, cool. And they can go back and then they go back into the little corner and, you know, it's sometimes a good and a bad thing sometimes, you know, because I have to tell them it's not a jukebox where like when you put it in the jukebox, it will play.
Yeah.
It's a request. And if you make a stupid request, I might not play it.
Hey.
And I tell people, I'm like, you know, you gotta give me something, you know, like all of a sudden and like one time I had somebody and they were playing like top 40, you know, like you know, Sexy Red and Glorilla and stuff like that. Well, this location, we weren't playing any top 40. It was like 2000s and down.
Okay.
You know, and so then, and I just let them know. I said it's not that anything in particular about that song, but even if someone came up and said they wanted like Ed Sheeran's Ozzy Zom new hit, I'd be like, we're not playing that right now. Yeah. That's new stuff. We're playing old stuff. We're specifically playing like 80s, 90s, the beginnings of 2000s, like not even trying to go deep into 2000. You know, the old T-Pain and the old Nelly and you know the fun, just good fun music.
Yeah.
And you know, and I had somebody requesting music, and so I just had to let them know, and they're like, "Oh, okay, I get it, whatever." You know.
And so, for the most part, when you are on location, there's already pretty much a theme to it, or
yeah. I definitely. I talk to the owners, and you know, I make sure I know what they want, what they accept. You know, like some places are restaurants. So, you know, the first hour or so, you know, like there's kids, there could be kids.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm very wary of that. So I'll make sure I'm rocking out, you know, like Luther Vandross, Keith Sweat, Earth, Wind and Fire, you know, like fun disco, fun music, you know, John Cougar Mellencamp. And it's always about, you know, you're watching the crowd too, who's, you know, getting the vibe of the people there. And then feeding off of what they're, you know, you can watch them and they start bobbing their head and they hear Pink Houses and they're just like, not gonna smoke, was the smoke, you know, or if they're just kind of like, you know, then, you know, like, all right, let me switch it up here, you know, maybe they need some Stevie B, you know, and next thing you know, all of a sudden, you know, and that's what a DJ does, though, you know, you fill that room, you test things out. A lot of times, you know, if you did your prep work, though, and you know, and you spoke to the people, and you know, you don't really need, you know, you hit the ground running.
Yeah.
But you'll still be, as you're doing that, you're still kind of, because sometimes people think they know what they want, and they don't know what they want. You know, like they hear a song in their car and they're dancing in their car, but like if you put that song on the dance floor, it ain't the same.
Yeah, don't hit the same.
Yeah, and so you know, so you have to gauge that too, and then there's a timing. You know, like one thing I was terrible at was paying attention to when it was time to make people go off the dance floor. You know, and I didn't get it when I was young. I didn't realize that you're supposed to clear the dance floor every while. But they would say it's not called clearing the dance floor. See, there's etiquette and politics involved with all this crap.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but what it was really you're clearing the dance floor because you're getting these people to go and get another load of drinks. You know, you're hitting them in waves, and you know, you get them in there and stuff. I went there and I'm just like, I'm rocking this out from the minute that door opens to the last bell of a song. And these people are gonna just be hard, just gonna be going, and then they wouldn't have me come back, and I didn't know why, because they weren't telling me. You know, the bouncers wouldn't tell me. They wouldn't give me, like, no no one was giving love back there, and like to tell you. And finally, this one bouncer, Batman, and he's Steve Southers. Shout out to Big Steve. He's the one that told me. One day I was there and I was like, man, bro, I think I hadn't been playing there for a while and I didn't know why. And I went there just to go party and I seen him and I'm like, bro, how come, and he was all, you want to know why? You want to know why really? I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm just here asking you, but then he tells me all that. He gives me that lowdown. And he goes, you got to know when to work the crowd. You got to know when to bring them up. You got to know when to let them get back to the bar. The bartenders are sitting there staring at them and them out there partying it up don't make them money. And that's how the bartenders, the more they party up, the more time they spend, they might get, they might get the alcohol out their system a little bit, and then they decide to go somewhere else. No, get them back, get them another drink in their hand. And that's what they're thinking. And if the bartender's not, and the DJ aren't on the same page, then, people get upset and whatnot. That's the only one thing, like, for when I got my DJ Countdown name, one thing I could probably say that they could say, because I didn't know. I just went in thinking you go in there and you rock it out like you're in Vegas. There's no downtime. There's no, quiet. You just go. And so then I learned that too. And then it's a good thing too, though. It really does work if you do it, if you know when to do it, and you can watch the crowd and you've rocked them out a few good songs. It's just like even like at a wedding too. At a wedding, like you brought it, and the next thing you know, you throw like a little, now I'm not gonna throw a slow song, but I might throw some Britney Spears,
Yeah.
And that'll clear the dance floor, but in a good way, because then the ones that have been off to the side a little bit, they'll hear that and they'll want to get up, and it'll kind of be a little bit of a transition. You'll never have it completely empty, but you want to be having it, and if you can do that with the music, like all of a sudden, like it's a good song like "Rock with You," Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You just bring it in. The start of it is the most perfect start. You don't have to be a mix master or nothing. You just stop the damn song you're playing and poof, hit it, right? It hits every time. Everybody go doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
And so, but it's a completely different change. If someone's out there grinding and grooving, and then that pops in, still a good music, still a good vibe, but now they got to stop. And the minute girls get a minute to stop, they're like, I need a drink, and then they go, and then off they go. But yeah, you're still playing good music, and so it's a different vibe when you're playing for like a bar or club than when you're paying for like a kitchenette or a wedding. You're at a wedding kitchen, you don't try to. The only thing I would do is, I'm not doing it for the same reason. I will clear the dance floor or slow things down. Is literally because the people are sweating their asses off because they've been dancing the last 30, 40 minutes, doing the la chona, the la vaca, all those things, right? And they're sweating, and you're like, these people need, okay, I'm gonna throw on some slow, some Chris Isaac on them. Beat, off they go to go cool down to get a drink. So you still do it in a way, but not as much, so that's all the little things that you learn where can keep the flow going, keep everybody happy at the end of the night. Instead of them wanting to shut down, they're wanting to go an extra hour, And even if they shut down when they're supposed to, they're still happy. Yeah, you did an okay job. But if you really are watching all that and everything, and I remember one time, it was years ago. There's one party, and I think they kind of irritated me, and so I'm like, because I think it was one of the aunts, And like, she just kept on barking. And, I'm like, okay, oh, you want me to get a hyphy? Oh, it's not hyphy now. Okay, all right. I played every line dance, fast moving, La Chona La Vaca, the cumbias, just all kinds of things, and they were just so done. They got the dance for like 20 minutes. And I was kind of like, good. Was that good? You guys good? And of course, I didn't say that, but I was thinking it like, okay, now y'all can sit down and relax for a little bit and leave me stay out my ear and just lady. But yeah, I guess, and that's another thing I love about the the DJ business is, and I have friends, they know when I'm in a mood. They'll be like, oh man, music just changed. Countdown. Something's happening. They'll be like, wait, is that his ex just walked in? Oh, no wonder he's playing that. I mean, no, I got songs, man, and I even play them, and the bartender will even look at me because they'll notice, like if there's like a fight or someone like trying to scuffle, and I'll be like, play on Why Can't We Be Friends, or just stupid things, and then even had people that were like ready to fight, and when they heard the song, they like literally stopped. They looked at me like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm like looking at them like, and they just laugh. They're like, all right, never mind. It's all good. It's all good. So, yeah, it's leading them with music. It's just vibing. It's knowing what they want to. It's not even like playing what they want, because they can make a request, and you play their song. Does that make you a great DJ? But no, makes you a good DJ. But what makes you a great DJ is they ask you for a song, and then you play 3 other songs that completely go with it and blows their mind, because they would have asked for those. They just forgot to ask for those, or didn't come to their mind. And, you know, so like if somebody comes to me and they ask for Karina, you know, Summer Girls or something, or, you know, one of the freestyle songs, it's like, I got 3 songs going to follow it up right there, you know, and they're going to be, and I try to always, if I'm going to do that, I'm not going to follow up with the automatic Stevie B. Automatic, you know, I'm going to find like one of the Dino, one of his off-track ones, and like different ones that like you are really trying to like surprise them and play with them, and you know, and it's a game. It's like, you know, like, all right, can I get this one? And you know, and then once you get them moving, then you get on the mic and be like, I see y'all dancing in your seat. Now y'all need to get up onto the dance floor, you know. And then you say, and then once you have them and you're holding them and you're like you said, you know, you're giving them back to the bar, you're bringing them back on, you're slowing it down when you need to. And you can play the most stupid, retarded song at that point. Yeah. And they're going to love you. They're going to love you. Because they know you're not playing it because you're desperate. You're not playing it because you don't know what you're doing. You're playing it because you're fucking with them. Yeah. And